Get you back here. So anyway, but yeah, that's keeping up with the Bidens, y'all, and we'll see how this. I know this year ain't gonna end right, but
garbage and sanitation worker. No, they want to live in big houses that they see on videos.
You know, my thing is, I thought it was funny because it was the caller that did it, but at the end of the day, it's when you're a public figure,
that the whole thing makes me sick to my stomach.
You know what I'm saying? 99.9% of the time, I love living in this, country that we're free and we have this freedom of speech. But every now and then,
yeah.
When she
man,
did
listen,
the Trump,
brother, if she could turn back the hands of time, Doc, ain't no Dave Chappelle. I'll tell you that.
And so you need to be put out and put on notice. The hell no.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Rebecca. What up? What up? What up? You know, that's my Martin days, right? Hey, y'all, what's going on? It's been 7 days since I seen y'all. Are y'all excited? I'm excited because you know what? Everybody's here. And shout out to that one person that just can't watch it unless all four of us is here. Yeah. So you're welcome, ma'am. So listen, y'all, I'm excited. We got so much to talk about. I'm not going to play around because I don't want to waste the people's time. And I think some of us haven't eaten. So let's get to it. Let's bring on the best morning show that you're going to find tonight. Hey, Demi J, good to see you. Hey, sir, look at him. Now, y'all, listen, that right there, Black is back. Back again. Back is back. What's up, Kenny?
What up, brother?
And Madam Devin, thank you so much.
Hi,
y'all, listen,
What's
we are all here. The family's here. This is the best morning show that you're gonna ever watch at night, and I promise you're not gonna find another show out here like that. But everybody's back, and we're all opinionated, and we're ready to talk. Y'all ready to go? Let's get started. What we got first? Thank you, man, for the power behind the hour. Miss Brittany, appreciate it. She wants to call me Beetlejuice. I just wore my Halloween costume a little early, y'all, so don't y'all think it's just what it is. Listen, I don't want to tell you. Let me get started. Keeping up with Donald John Trump. Y'all, listen. They had another hearing last week, and I'm not a psychic, but I'm telling you, we are headed towards a place that we not gonna come back from. Y'all, they subpoenaed Donald Trump, y'all. What you say? Hope y'all have a victorious week. Yes, ma'am. That sound a little
same to you.
Sound like you got a little Kojic background with that one. Victorious. All right. So they subpoenaed Trump. Now for me, you might as well throw rocks in the water with this one, but I'm not really sure why they pulled the trigger. And I guess we'll talk about it in just a second. But so what that means is they want Donald Trump to come and have a conversation under oath to discuss what he did on January 6th and the days before. He probably not showing up, but you never know because he's been doing this for years, man. He's been in the legal system longer than probably anybody else on this planet. So this is nothing new to him to even do it. I really feel like this is between him and Liz. Because if y'all saw the way they put it down, Benny Thompson gave it over to Liz, and she submitted the charges. So I'm saying to myself, this is a political game that I really don't think that somebody is aware of. That there's a bullet in that gun, and eventually y'all keep spinning it, playing Russian roulette. It's gonna fire and pop somebody up on the head. Black, I missed you, man. So we gotta start with you. I'll probably start with you every segment now. Nah, I was just teasing. Man, what do you think about this foolishness, man? I mean, is this optics? Is this for show? What are we doing?
Definitely, but it's a dangerous game to me that the Democrats are playing, in my personal opinion. He's being tried in the court of public opinion for sure.
Yeah,
and
he winning
and Trump is traditionally has won. He's been Teflon Don, so to speak. And so but again, we got an election coming up next month.
That's right.
You know, literally in a couple of weeks away. So this political grandstanding that they're doing. The problem here is that you're selling a hell of a lot of wolf tickets, and as you said, if this gun, all these bullets you put in the chamber end up being blanks, the damage you will have done to your party, because what you guys are doing, you're setting up, you're going to make him even bigger than he already is if you're not prepared to go all the way. It makes me think about that, about the movie The Untouchables, you know, and the scene in the movie says, well, what's the Chicago way? If you pull a gun, you pull a knife. He said, Chicago, you have to be prepared to go all the way. I'm not convinced the Democrats are ready to do it.
I was just teasing, Demi. Yes, ma'am. But yes, I do believe you're a Christian, so for sure about that. What's up, Falk? Good to see you, man.
What's up, Lamar? What up with it?
What's going on?
So, madam, I want to take it here with you. Liz is smarter than probably all the other Democrats because she's on the Republican side. And last time I checked, the Republicans normally know how to strategically plan things. The Democrats really act like they're chickens with their head cut off. So for her to make this move, I don't think this was the Democrats because they don't have enough gall to do that. This is her move. What is she trying to tell us about what she want to do? I know she don't want to see him president again, but she made this move on purpose.
Yeah, first of all, I think the only reason all this is happening is because people don't want him to run for office again. It's just and I'm sure that was her reason behind it. But to me, it's made all the Trump supporters like really loud again. On like the social media, because of course I don't see him like on my personal social media platforms, but other ones, I think it's just made them real loud again. I'm seeing the Trump 2024 flags again and you know, out and about and things like that. I feel like that's all it's doing. I know that they had a goal of one thing, but I think it's becoming a goal of another thing, and it's just motivating him. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're feeding Incredible Hulk and just making him madder and madder. And if he does run, even if he don't want to, I feel like now he'll have to just tick everybody off. I just think they should even ask him if he wanted to run again before they even started this nonsense, because I don't think he'll have any consequences from all of this. I just think it's just making him more angry when they should have just asked him in the beginning, do you even plan on running? It's foolish.
Yeah, as a man who really has a problem not being in control, it seems like this is kind of a ball that's unraveling out of control. Kenny, I mean, they're not putting this demon, dragon, monkey, whatever you want to put in the jar. That genie not going back in this bottle. So, you know, what are they wishing for? Because I think they on their last one.
Just like you all just said, I think Black said it best. I mean, if they loading this gun with all the bullets, one of them better stick, because if it don't, you know, this guy's gonna run again in 2024. You know, as far as Trump, man, you know, there's a thing in media. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So the more and more that his name is being talked about, and this subpoena and all this optics. I don't think nothing's gonna happen to the guy, to be perfectly honest with you. And this really is just feeding the beast. He's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. All I'll say is we're gonna keep watching, because in the next 30 days, 60 days, we're gonna find out what the next couple of years gonna look like for us, because it's gonna be a clown show for sure. If
most
the GOP
definitely
switch this around, and I mean, listen, I don't think it's gonna really hurt TV ratings, because all people gonna be doing is watching politics now, because they're gonna be cutting up, and I'm talking about frat boys, frat girls. They going to work because they just been waiting. They've been waiting. So. All right, y'all, let's keep it up with the Trumps. By the way, y'all know he has a platform called Truth Social, and one of the executives, or even I think that he's the guy that started the whole social media platform of Truth. Trump said he need you to give me some of them shares and give them to Melania. So I don't know what this do. He almost like he just everything he do with, man. He just be jacking people up, man. So But we'll keep y'all posted, y'all, and let y'all know what's going on. It's too much other politics to talk about for us to keep going, so I don't want to talk about the rest of that. All right, Netflix. Y'all got Netflix?
Of course.
I do.
Yep.
Illegally, but I got it.
Listen to that.
Hey,
he definitely running. We're gonna find out for sure if he's running or not. Well, listen, y'all. Netflix announced Thursday that it was adding its new ad-supported portion to the stream, and it's going to launch November 3rd. The company's basic with ad plan is cheaper than its $9.99 basic plan. This will include an average of 4 to 5 minutes of ads per hour. Well, that's about normal. Video quality will range from 720 HD, which will now be the range for the basic plan as well. I wonder what it was before. Users won't be able to download titles, okay, and some titles won't be available because of country licensing restrictions. Advertisers will also be able to block ads from appearing on content that might be inconsistent with their brands, like sex or violence, the company said. Okay, y'all switching. Y'all going, ma'am, you gonna lower your bill so you can get a little cheaper Netflix for a couple commercials?
Been paying it all this time, so I might as well just continue it. I mean, I don't even notice it at this point. It's been so many years. I mean, but it sounds like it's doing the exact same thing as every other streaming service that I have that show a billion of the same commercials. Every 5 minutes, I watch 3 commercials about Spectrum. So it sounds like the exact same thing.
Right. What they always say? Who did it? That's all I remember. I can just always hear them saying that sound. I was like, yes, I'm with you on that one. I mean, Kenny, you gonna keep your $40 plan?
No, brother, I ain't on no $40 plan. First of all, let's get that straight, Mr. Referee up there. But
flag on play.
But no, I think okay, it's a nice economical deal. But I think if you probably talk to the majority of Netflixers, we probably just we gonna stick with what we got. You kind of used to it. I mean, you save a couple of dollars, you can get more commercials. I don't know. It doesn't interest me, but
yeah,
so be
I
it.
think all it did is help the stockholders, to be honest with you, because it's gonna stop all that bad publicity about that, about people leaving. Now I'm talking to the illegal immigrant of Netflix here, sir. They're gonna come see you here in a little bit, right? So
can't find me.
That's
number one. And this is a shout out to Miss Demi J. This is a little side comment about Christian. Once a Baptist, always a Baptist. I love what you said, Devin, because you said that you've been paying it all this time. The reality is this has become a staple part of our budget, our economy. I have an illegal access to Netflix, and I've had it for years from somebody I don't even speak to. But since she has never changed her credentials, I've been logging in literally for 7 years now. It's such an integral part of probably what she pays her bill. I have not spoken to this woman in years. And again, it's been on. God bless her. Thank you, sweetie. Having said that,
shame.
You do realize these changes they're talking about, it's likely not going to affect us as Americans. They're talking about in other countries. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, if I don't know nothing else about Americans.
Yeah.
We ain't taking no shorts. You can't invite us into the building, feed us cake and candy, and then pull some ish back.
Yes, sir.
And then start telling us now you're going to give us an inferior product. Because there's too much competition here in the US of A. But they're talking about those other countries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, change your password, people. They tell you that.
Like Brittany having the same problem black homegirl having. Like whoever she was messing with, he probably still got her stuff too. So yeah. Sorry, Brittany.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. You're right. We don't play that. You know what I'm saying? It's about capitalism over here. So don't give me something and then try to take it back, because let's just go ask the Indians. We don't play that. Once you let us over here, then we don't play. We're gonna just take it. We say I'll be watching Tubi and Hulu. Yeah, Tubi's free, but I think Netflix have really done well with trying to, what's the word? They've created their original content, and so a lot of people really want to see these shows that they had. I think the only show that I thought about that they was the one with the Asians, the one that's coming out with the second one. I can't think of what that is.
The game show.
Yes, I can't. Yeah,
but I gotta tell you, the other networks are catching up to them.
They are.
Amazon Prime. I just finished watching their
rendition of
Dragon,
Lord of the
whatever,
Rings. Yep.
Lord of the Rings. they spent money on this thing. Folks, HBO Max, Disney Plus, the Peacock Network.
Squid Game.
The reason why Netflix having to make this change, the competition is catching up to them now.
Exactly.
And where they've given all this exorbitant money to people like Dave Chappelle, which don't stop. I love it. But now they got to figure out a way to pay for it.
Yeah. Right. And you said something there because, you know, Hulu, man, I like that. They got a lot of documentaries now that I like. And so you're right. So, yeah. And I actually got somebody else's stuff on Hulu, so I get it. so shout out to that dude that's been losing his Netflix from Brittany because she said she changed her password tonight. So sorry, player. All right, man. What we got? Amazon. See, that's why I wore this shirt because I wanted to talk about Amazon, and I think I need to throw a flag on the play on this one. Flag on the play. So apparently, I know. Listen, y'all, Amazon is an amazing. I'm an owner because I invest in Amazon. But you know, they dropped the ball on this one. So apparently, there are parents that are about to sue Amazon because they are selling. I can't say that word, can I? So apparently, they're selling these. Y'all remember the movie? With Will Smith and Harley Quinn, all them, the Suicide Squad. Okay, yeah. I don't think. I think I said that word. Okay. So
the Unalive Squad.
The Not Alive Squad. There it is. Okay. So apparently they're selling Not Alive kits, and apparently this teenager got a hold of this kit. Now, when I was reading this story, I couldn't tell if the kid successfully went through with it. But why would you want to attach yourself to that type of kit, Kenny? I mean, and listen, I know these kids are impressionable, and I know that I've seen them do a lot of dumb stuff because I've been having the internet for a very long time. So I've seen them do some dumb stuff. But why would a company, multi-billion, I mean, they're going to probably get to $1 trillion in the next 20 years. But why would you want to attach yourself to something like that?
Because it's about the bottom line. It's about the money. They could care less. They could care less about the kids that's gonna purchase this, and they know the parents is gonna. You know, at the end of the day, it's company business. It's business before safety. And so, if they're gonna be silly enough to let these kids get it, they're gonna sell as many of it as they can and make it accessible for these crazy kids to do that and purchase.
Right. Okay, but Devin, here it is. I know some of these things got to go through their legal department. Legal department don't say, hey, that don't sound, you're gonna really put yourself in a situation. I mean, I know people make their own decisions, but why contribute or assist in this?
I think Amazon has gotten so big and they have so many private sellers now that some things just kind of fall through the cracks. I think if this grows traction and people start talking about it and they find it or see it, I think that, you know, they will no longer sell it. But I think that Amazon has so many private sellers now that, you know, some things just kind of fall through the cracks. I feel like they obviously probably have some type of policies or guidelines that, you know, are anti this, and people just aren't following the policies and the guidelines. I personally don't think it's intentional. I think that it's just a private seller who's capitalizing off the name Amazon.
Okay, Blacks, you're right. So I got this for you. So it was 2 of them, and they actually did go through successfully with this. And the parents are now suing Amazon because they actually ingested a chemical that gave them this fatality. Black, are the parents not going to be exposed when this goes to some type of litigation?
It depends on their attorneys, I would imagine. You know, whether they want to do it in anonymity. But having said that, I hope what you theorize, Ms. Devin, is correct. I fear it's not. I do think it's intentional. To be honest with you, it's so organic once again that just in the last segment we were talking about Squid Games. I think we as a society have hit a critical point where there's truth in advertising. I think they're ahead of the curve in this sense, where they're talking about something that not only happens so much, young people and their fatalistic views about life and death is so at the forefront now that we have a successful game show where people's lives are at danger. Many of these people don't expect to live to be 30 years old. And Mr. Amazon himself, there's a reason why he's jostling constantly for the richest man on the planet, and he has no plans to stop. I think we've hit a point where it's time that look at what reality TV's become, where they're going to put it out there on Front Street and market it and sell it and package it. And I don't think they give a damn about how it hits, because even if you're right, Miss Devin, and it gets big enough that they come for them, look at how much money they will have made by the time they hit that stage. And so at that point, it's worth it. Remember once upon a time when you could go into a Walmart and do a slip and fall and they wouldn't take you to court, that they just pay you off on? And eventually it caught up to them. But by then, look at how many of my bros out there got thousands of dollars for doing a slip and fall.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You're right, Black. This is a crazy world we live in, man. And so at worst, some things don't surprise me, but that was pretty up there. Oh yeah, my dad said purge is another form, and I agree with you. Nobody needs assistance in acting a fool. I promise you. They either they were born this way or they just learned it from a lot of other fools. But what Black say, one fool makes many. So,
most definitely.
Yeah. So it is what it is. So all right, y'all. Well, y'all keep them kids off that internet, man, and make sure that you got a parental control or something on that, man. And I mean, you don't need to be buying from Amazon nowhere. You need to come through you to get stuff. So whatever. Yeah. I know ain't nothing coming through this hour with my wife looking at it because she gonna think it's hers. All right, man. What we got next? There it is, sir. Man, listen, Kenny got some good stuff for us today, and I'm ready to talk about it. So, my brother, let us know what's going on in the world of sports.
Well, the world of sports, we had football yesterday, Miss Devin. Cowboys couldn't get it done. They dropped the 4-2. I think the Cooper Rush, all that hoopla is probably over and done with now. But anyway, the Cowboys took an L yesterday, but they still 4-2. My Packers was looking offensive yesterday. They just, I don't know what's wrong with them boys and Packers. They took an L yesterday to the Jets as well. So anyway, that's where we at right now. Monday Night Football, we got the Broncos up on the Chargers, 10-7. And we're going to stay in the NFC East Division. We're going to talk about them Washington Commanders and their owner, Daniel Snyder. Well, ESPN dropped a big expose on Mr. Daniel Snyder over the weekend. And if you don't know, Daniel Snyder is actually not running the day-to-day operations of the team because of some investigations of some workplace sexual harassment, some emails, and he's being sued and this and that. Had to pay a $10 million fine back in the summer of 2021. So his wife is actually running the day-to-day. Wink, wink. When we know she's not, we know he doing it anyway. Well, in this expose, Daniel Snyder recently told a close associate that he has gathered enough secrets to blow up several NFL owners, the league office, and Commissioner Roger Goodell. According to Snyder's close associate, Snyder said they can't F with me privately. Now, Snyder is facing multiple investigations, and in the age of 57, Snyder told his associates he would not lose his beloved franchise without a fight, and there would be many casualties that go down with them. And one of those owners, he said he has some dirt on. I bet y'all can guess who it is, can't you?
Crypt Keeper.
Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones.
That's what you call that, man.
Plus 5 other owners. Again, Snyder says, I ain't going down without a fight. If y'all try to take my team, I'm taking some owners with me. Brother Black, is this a good? Well, we know it's not a good thing. Do you think this is something gonna go down with this? What you think?
This is, to me, more dangerous than the Trump situation, because here you have a small good old boys club, and anytime you got a level of exclusivity and you add money and power and depravity to it, this has the potential to be way more explosive to me, because I guarantee you He has the goods. He know where the skeletons are buried. And the crazy part about it, I don't blame that man. It's becoming fashionable to go after these owners. You know, they did it to the owner of the Clippers. Now you got the owner of the Phoenix Suns going through this situation. You know, so you kind of see the ball rolling. And these NFL owners, you're talking about billions of dollars and what's been going on behind the scenes for years. Free R. Kelly. R. Kelly, you should have took a page out of this man's book. And if you're going to go down, take them all down, my brother. Tell it all.
Oh, man, Miss Devin, what's your thoughts on the good old boys club, the NFL owners?
I love it. It make my day. Y'all know I usually just mind my business, but I'm gonna be ear to the street for this one. I love it because I knew the Crypt Keeper was foul anyway. I tell you, that man about 147 years old. I swear he'd been dead about 21 years. So I love it for all his mess to come out and really, really shock him back to life. But no, I love it. I like when people with money have to face consequences and sweat a little bit. It makes me feel good that they may have to pay a little bit out of pocket or lose something. Hey, I'm out here for it. And after Community Ping, Ime Adoko business came out, it's time for all their stuff to be put out there on Front Street.
Miss Devin, this is definitely right up your alley. I knew you would dig this story. It's just digging in a whole bunch of people's business in their pocket too. Well, you know what's funny? Robert Kraft just got married over, if I'm not mistaken, last week.
Yeah,
got married. To Brother Brenton.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I want to get your thoughts on that, but also just your thoughts on, man, is any of these cats gonna go down, or is Snyder just blowing smoke?
No, listen, that behavior is familiar. That's a boy who never let everybody play with his ball when he didn't get picked. So I'm gonna tell y'all something about this moment though. Y'all remember the Tom Cruise Eyes Wide Shut? And again, his other movie, The Firm. See, the problem is, and again, I'm gonna reference one more movie, Mississippi Burning. When you start strangling the right cat, I'm sorry. Maybe that was a bad part. Sorry, Black. But when you start strangling the wrong kitty, well, I don't know.
See, you ain't right.
I'm sorry. Listen, when you start strangling the wrong feline, right? They're gonna begin to start hollering and squirming. Listen, they done choke. They tried to choke the life out of this boy. You said y'all want me off the team? Oh, y'all want me off the team? Apparently this dude done hired private investigators.
Yeah. Allegedly, according to the article, yeah, he has. Yeah.
Okay, well,
that's what they say.
There it is. But I'm just saying, whether it is or not, the problem is that he been in the same locker rooms y'all been in. Like Black said, he know where the bodies are buried. Right. So all it take was a little bit of truth. It ain't gotta be all the way true around here. Just as long as you get a little bit. And we know these boys dirty. Listen, Jeffrey Epstein died. Come on, man. They had all the list of everybody on the airplane. So I'm just telling Daniel Snyder, now listen, they'll put up with you for so long, but you better, as they'll tell you in the hood, you better be playing. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna take. Cause Daniel, listen, son, they're gonna be like, man, he caught COVID. He got up out of here. Y'all don't play with him. Yeah. And listen, last time I checked, Jerry. Okay, anyway. So listen, there's a lot of people. If folks will do stuff for Trump, I promise you people do stuff for Jerry.
Yeah, it's funny. He's under investigation right now. He's supposed to be going in front of a committee and testify, but they subpoenaed him. He hadn't showed up. So again, this Daniel Snyder ain't playing. He said, like, if y'all gonna really try to get me out this league, it's some other owners gonna go down.
Listen, Kenny, if we don't reprimand the country for doing wrong,
right?
Where are we gonna start reprimanding billionaires?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a reality show. The NFL ain't liking this at all, and this is going to be one that we're going to keep our eye on for sure.
Right.
So anyway, that's my sports report. Back to you, Brenton.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man, so much. And just that Daniel Kraft, man. I wish I could have shown y'all the picture. of him and that young lady, I know she wasn't born when he got
I said the same thing, Brent. I'm like, okay.
My goodness.
Look at this dude. Really?
And to see the irony of Tom back there in the back looking like Mr. Irrelevant without his girl, and him sitting up there with somebody that's probably old as one of Tom's kids. So
right.
I don't. Anyway, it's just funny. Tom got to take his pitch. He got to take a page out these old billionaires, man. Just wait. When you get his age, you'll have another Giselle. Don't worry. That's how it works, Doc. So anyway, all right, man. What we got next? Oh, you already put it up there. Don't be on this list. Hey, Miss Toria, good to see you.
Hey, Miss Toria, what's going on?
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So listen, y'all don't want to be on this list. That's too many billionaires, Doc. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, this ain't Ghost and Tommy. Y'all better stop playing. This ain't no power. Right. All right. So listen, there is a teacher in Chicago that has now been arrested because she put students on the list. Why would you arrest a teacher for putting people? She was just taking attendance.
At least I hope so.
Okay. I'm just maybe this is not funny. Okay, bad joke. I'm sorry. So apparently, she has a list of names of students and staff that she put on a list to again let them go see their maker.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, listen, man. Listen, y'all letting everybody teach kids now. And so y'all don't check their mental health. Y'all don't check nothing. So they arrested this lady, man, in Chicago because there were kids and teachers' names on this list. And she said she's going to let them have it. And she meant that. And so they arrested her because I guess they took the threat real. Right. So I don't know. Black.
That's crazy.
How do we approach this? I mean, our kids are not safe anywhere, man.
Whew. At the same time, you have to consider the situation. You said Chicago, right?
I did.
So,
I did.
Here we go.
I'm just saying. I actually I taught. I was teaching in a charter school in Memphis.
Yeah.
It's some rough school systems out here, y'all, and I actually got out of it for that reason. So under normal circumstances, I'd probably say no, but them damn crazy people she probably dealing with and them badass kids, I'll put their ass on the list too.
Right. Yeah. Because they probably got her on the list, right?
Add my neighbor. I love my new apartment, but this stinking no good heifer upstairs, put that bitch on the list.
Yes, so
I got $500 out there. If a friend of a friend come whoop this whole's ass for me.
My goodness.
Oh my.
Black is
5.
Yo, my.
If my plane ticket didn't cost that much, I'd probably come holler at you. My goodness, madam. I don't know if you ever taught school before. I did, and I get it, but I'm not gonna tell nobody.
I mean, it's two sides, right? Because on one hand, I used to work at a daycare, and I had 2 and 3-year-olds, and it was a few of them I didn't put on the list. Them kids was bad. They was biting and cussing, and they wouldn't sit down when I tell them that their mamas wasn't nothing, and they want to argue with you. But I wouldn't actually put them on the list. I'd just be thinking about it. I'd be like, look out this window. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna actually, actually do it. So think about things, but you won't actually do things. But then the question I have is, how old are these kids? Because let's be honest. If they old enough, who said if you old enough to talk, you old enough to get. So I mean, they in Chicago. These kids will probably take you out, and their mama will take you out. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to survive. Because I wouldn't be surprised if some kids in Chicago will take you out for failing them. I'm just saying. I need all the facts.
I think Texas kids will do that. So.
Okay. It's different breed of kids and mamas. The mamas will go out there and fight you with the kids. I'm just saying.
Again, just hypothetically, what I'm saying, if I had a problem with a kid, I would always put him in the front of the class. I mean, when we line up to go to the restroom, I'll put him in the front, and the door would just some reason always accidentally hit him. I mean,
somehow,
yeah,
huh?
all right,
Okay.
just he would always leave. He'd be the last one to leave, and for some reason, he would just that last desk would always catch him. I'm just saying, Kenny. I mean, I know it's two sides of both stories, but why would you want to put yourself? Well, listen, Trump. At least Trump threw his stuff in the toilet. Why would that
Right? Would you do that? Yeah.
Right.
How did they find this list? Where was this list at? Did she post?
So
the
apparently,
list?
I don't know if she had sticky notes or if she had a
Okay.
journal. I don't know what she had. And I mean,
Man.
I don't know.
That's the first thing. You don't leave don't have any evidence. Even if you were thinking about the list, don't be putting it where someone else can find it. Again, like all you all said, I mean, teaching it's a job that would probably want to make you commit a couple of felonies. I mean, let's go and keep it real. So,
right.
I mean, it'd be some crime tape in some of these classrooms because some of these kids just bad as hell. But come on, teacher. I mean, obviously, you're not in the right profession if you making hit lists. So we need to get you out of there. I get it. Agreed. I know these kids are bad to deal with. I'm not saying this teacher wasn't wrong. But you're probably not in the right profession. We need to get you out the classroom.
You probably bought all them kids from Amazon that was sold.
Oh, boy.
You know what? I'm not fooling with that. Listen, Kenny makes a great point, and I think that's important for everybody to know. For a long time, my kids would go to the Y and participate in different sports, and they would always ask, "Sir, would you like to coach a team?" No. And you know why? Because I know me.
Mm-hmm.
I know me, and
Yeah.
I know how you think about your children, and I know how I think about your kids. So if your kids not acting like my kids, well, then I don't want to fool with your kids because I know what I'm gonna do to my children. So I just we listen. Don't.
Good point.
If you cannot, if you don't have the patience, if you don't have the ability to care for ill-mannered children. Stop teaching.
Stop. Get out.
Like if you don't have that, what you call it, that mojo to get the kids to either have some type of pseudo fear for you or have this level of respect. Ain't no more 40-year teachers in the school.
No.
30-year teachers no more. This is 40 days, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This is 2-year contracts and you up. So
that's it. Yeah.
You ain't getting no respect. You know what I'm saying? No more. So if it ain't in you, like if that ain't what you got, so you just should move on. Know your limitations, please.
Right.
Or it could be the fault of the school system because they don't want you putting kids out because it affects their bottom line. So they don't have the same regulations and policies. Because back in my day, if you act a fool in the school, you're not coming to class anymore. But now they tell you to let stuff go because they can't afford to lose the kids.
It's true.
It is a lot. I do agree with you about just the regulations. But again, when you say a snitch on the list, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That may be what happened. Okay, that makes sense. And she probably showed him the list too, huh? Yeah, your name right there. Okay. So, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's slow too. Whoever he or she, whichever one did it. So all I'm saying is, if this ain't what you, if you ain't got it in you, cut it out, because then you're gonna be somewhere else. You're gonna be teaching your cellmate.
Right. Y'all, you're gonna be making the list with your cellmate.
Right. All right. Well, she at the top, ma'am. Listen, you digging in folks' business this week, and I know who you got. So let's talk about it, please.
Y'all, I really was trying this week because I've been stressed out. I've been studying for things, trying to change my life, trying to find my better self. And then all of a sudden, while minding my business, that old Kanye, I'm sorry, pops up on Michelle Obama's internet talking about how Mr. Floyd did not die from that man's foot or
George Floyd.
George Floyd did not die from that. Instead, he died from a fentanyl overdose. And he just and now that particular family is trying to sue him. But I think we want to talk about that whole family thing. But then I also saw not too long ago, he was wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, and he just been on super troll mode lately. When do we stop fooling with Kanye? Ken?
Oh, I've been done with him. I washed my hands of him years ago. You know, all these people rocking saying he's a genius and he's this and that. First of all, stop using that word genius and all that, because he's definitely not a genius. He doesn't know. His thoughts are all over the place. I know he wants to play intelligent gymnastics with us and think that he's making a lot of sense. Stop listening to this guy. Stop paying attention to him. Again, he's a billionaire. He don't care about the black community. He disrespected George Floyd. He watched Candace Owens' documentary. That's where he got that stuff from. She dropped a documentary that was saying that George Floyd was injected with fentanyl and that the police officer wasn't on his neck with his leg. If you watch the video, he got all that from Candace Owens' documentary. But anyway, my last thing about Kanye West, he doesn't even exist in my mind anymore. I'm just talking about it because it's part of the show, but he's non-existent. Leave that guy alone. Let him stay where he is.
Gotcha. And I keep hearing people, shout the same old nonsense. Toria says, OMG, that fool was on Drink Champs. We just need to stop acknowledging him. He just wants the attention. We have to stop giving it to him. I get it. But Black, are we going for the whole bipolar mental health illness thing anymore, or are we gonna actually stop using that nonsense to justify his behavior?
No, I think we're over it, but here's the problem. There's a saying, a fool and his money is soon departed. But we happen to be talking about in this instance of somebody who's an actual billionaire. And so when money is involved, even though we want him to go away, he's trying to pull a page out of Donald Trump's book, except he's going to find out tragically, you're not the right persuasion to get away with what he's been able to get away with. And what makes this truly sad is the fact that this man is in a tremendous amount of pain. I'm convinced of it. If ever there was the proverb that money don't make you happy, this is truly it. He could have 10 billion. And we see in the commentary, Candace Porter thing and talking about Paula, is anybody catching on the fact that the owner or creator of Paula is Candace Owens' husband?
Is it really?
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay,
so
well there you go, the connection.
Fool,
okay,
you bump his head. Us normal regular folks, we're done, Miss Devin. But because he has money, he is able to, everything he does is going to garner some attention, and it's going to be a sad state of affairs when he wakes up one day and find out, like OJ and some of the rest of them, my bruh, you black.
Yep. Do you think that Candace Owens and her Condoleezza Rice hairdo have convinced him that if he, tries to gain the attention and acceptance of a different demographic, that he'll be more successful by pandering to that particular demographic?
Oh my goodness. Devin, I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna have to put on my Levi T wig, and I'm gonna have to give me a three-point sermon right here on this one. Point number one, Kanye missed his mama. That's number one. Number two, Kanye is putting himself around a whole lot of fools. Candace, what's the other one? Nick Cannon. I mean, all these people are ignorant. So he's putting himself around people that are fools. Number two, this is what's wrong with money. Because when money is given to the wrong fool, it causes a lot of problems, right? And there's a movie that I watched years ago. It's called Trading Places. And these two white men bet $1 that they could take somebody out the streets and make him, he could do exactly what a white man that had everything, and vice versa, take everything from the white man and turn them into the total opposites. The moral of that story is it works. And so if we're waiting on Kanye West to get it together, his mama's gone, he's putting himself around fools, and he got plenty of money. The end. So to your point, do I think she is influencing him? I to be honest with y'all, these kids are actually dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. Y'all don't even y'all don't even understand. This fool is recruiting you dummies, right? To be on a team that unfortunately is not gonna end well. So maybe he's buying those kits too.
He probably is.
Yes, I'm sorry. Ain't it a good movie? Yeah. What's up, Bama girl? It's all right. Don't
what's
worry
up,
about
Bama
being
girl?
late. Just hit that rewind later. Right. So to your point, Devin, I feel like they both. If Candace wants that clout, well, she getting on a very dark one, and yeah. From what I know about Kanye, like he told Diddy, don't text me because it's gonna go public. I just think your time gonna come. I mean, it's just certain people y'all don't want to play with. You don't want to play with Donald Trump, and now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't want to play with Kanye West. That's truth. So,
well, although this man getting on my last nerve, I bet money that soon, when this is all said and done, everybody's going to forgive him. And because he's going to come out and do something that's completely the opposite of what he's doing now, because that's what he does. He plays double dutch and he's in and out, like all the time, in and out. So I'm going to just need people to hold this man accountable. In my profession and my family members, I know a lot of people with mental health disorders, and they don't make you stupid. They may make you not have a filter, but they don't make you behave the way that he's behaving. So I'm going to need everybody to quit using that as an excuse. The mental health illnesses make you do a whole lot of things, but they don't make you. This is just a entitled person with too much money, and they feel like they can say and do whatever they want without consequences. That's why he playing with y'all. That's why he had y'all paying a fee to come watch him do church. But now he's not in the church no more. And now the fool done open a school and don't read a book. I need y'all to quit falling for the okie doke and quit being dumb. I think every week I tell people to quit being stupid, but we keep doing it. But I'm gonna go back and mind my business because I'm not fooling with Kanye. Kanye.
That is a really funny name.
Back at you, Brenton.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I just want to say one more thing. Kanye is a majority. And to be honest with you, if he didn't have money, they would have him in somebody's VA hospital, shooting him up with some medication
You're probably
and putting him back underneath the bridge. Kanye is that's why it don't mean nothing to us, because Kanye, we see Kanye every time we go to the downtown Dallas or to you go to the hood. Kanye just hood, and unfortunately he tricked the world into make sure he can get a whole lot of money. But that's the reality. Kanye is put whoever nickname you want to put up under there. That's who he is. Whoever your neighborhood fool was, he just got money. So that's why it's nothing to us. We just overlook the fool, right?
Yeah,
that's how we do it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, Toria just mentioned that if and when he puts money back into the Black communities, then she'll pay attention to that fool. But that's the definition of toxicity. Someone who abuses you, buys you a gift, and then abuses you again. No matter what he puts in the Black community, everybody should just frown upon it because he's a fool.
She do be on it, don't she, real estate insider? She do.
Yeah, she be rocking it for sure.
All right, man. We sure appreciate you just continuing to talk about our ignorant cousin that come to the reunion. You know what I'm saying?
No, that ain't my cousin. No,
okay, yeah.
That ain't my cousin.
All right, HBCU Uncut. Yeah. Speaking of fools, again, like I said, you know, Kanye is that we see that all the time. Unfortunately, we see things like this. I tried to think about this. Maybe y'all can help me. I'm not really sure. Like, Dion is putting HBCU on the map now. They're getting more and more endorsements from, you know, Fortune 500 companies. I think he said, I watched that 60-minute thing you put up, Kenny. I think Walmart redid his football field, and American Airlines and Pepsi have partnered with HBCUs now, and so he's doing the doggone thing, man. But again, what's the old saying? You can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Yeah,
right?
That's the saying.
Well, here's you can't take the hood out. Let's look at this video. I'm gonna just show y'all.
Y'all
So I'm gonna tell y'all this is nothing new. This doesn't surprise us. I'm also tell y'all Draymond Green would not be in this. See, this is the difference between Draymond Green and what really happens in the world. Like you would be seeing Draymond run off to the sidelines in this moment. Y'all, to be honest with you, if I show y'all this video 2 more times, which I'm not, but I'm just saying, y'all would think these were opposing teams.
Right.
This was the same team.
What?
Yeah, it was the same team. It was just like purple and yellow.
Okay.
They was from the same squad. They from the same team.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah. And it's not like Cowboys and Eagles. No. This is Cowboys white and Cowboys silver. they're and that's the problem I have with what we do, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it's ignorant in all ethnicities, but I just hate when we do it the way we doing it. I know that's normal. I mean, all of us have seen fights. I get it. But it's just the fact that what is it that y'all that mad about and y'all on the same team that causes y'all to want to get into it like that? Again, that's what we talked about last week about, we partners. But again, I don't know, Kenny.
Wow, I was floored. I didn't know that was the same team.
Yeah,
you heard the person videotaping and said, "Y'all chill out, y'all chill out."
Right.
You kept hearing them saying that, and I was like, "Okay, maybe he was talking about," but they were because these are teammates.
That's right,
man. It just go again, like you said, Brenton. We know teammates sometimes get into it. It happens in organized sports, but for that's toxic. That's a little bit too much. That's a whole lot of too much. I don't know if the coaches they ain't got no control. Whoever that team is, the coaches ain't got no control, man. And that's saddening. I hate to see that, especially for us. You know what I'm saying?
And again, man, that's college, right? This stuff still happens in high school. And so my son he plays football, and he was telling me a story about, something what was going on with the locker room, and some of the varsity boys jumped one of the JV boys. And I told my son, I said, man, that young man doesn't have a father in his house. Because I said, son, let those boys jump you. I said, these clowns ain't seen a fool. I said, and I'm not even talking about them kids. I may whip them coaches just because. I may whip your favorite line coach, punk. and see if you want to come get some too. It just ain't what we do, man. I mean, hood recognize hood, but again, man, how do you see this?
Here's the thing. First of all, there's always like heated emotions as far as in sports and whatnot. But here's the difference that I think we're going to see with some of the HBCU schools. These are college age students. And I remember when my son, and this is why he ain't shit today. I remember when he was in school and he played football, he was really good at football, right? But the coach would always say, you can get far, but your attitude. And I would always explain to him, it does not matter how good you are if you are not coachable, right? But I feel like with some of these HBCUs, they're going to pick students based on their skills opposed to their skills and, combined with their attitudes and their ability to be coached and whatnot. They're going to, because we all know people from our communities who were really good athletically, but they were hotheads and ended up going to jail, going to prison. Let's be honest. So I think HBCU should still have the same guidelines as any other college or university. You still have to act right no matter how good you are. And when you start making stipulations and consequences for these kids who act a fool, which means you got to go and start putting a little money in the pockets of the ones who act right, I think some of the behaviors will change, and I think you can eliminate some of the people who are not coachable.
I love what we do. We always fly from all these perspectives. So to your point, Black, I'm gonna give you this. Deion Sanders is almost the left side of this pendulum, and this moment is the right side. And because Deion is bringing so much attention, now more attention is going to be brought to situations like this. That, like, the reality is that now more people are going to see it, and they're going to scrutinize exactly what was left in the closet because there were no Deions. You know what I'm saying? But now people are going to look, and then they're not. See, that's the problem. That's the problem with getting a Deion, because now you're going to be exposed, and now people are going to say, "Well, I don't want to invest in that." Is that what we're going to see all the time? This world is so crazy. Go ahead, man.
Once again, this show's taking on a life of its own in a very organic way, because almost every segment we're talking about young people and the impact of the various different mediums on them. And once again, Sister Devin, while you're so hopeful, and I pray to God you're right, my fear is that we're trending in the opposite direction. I too have a dumbass who ain't shit, and he went to an HBCU. And he thought it was going to be an extension where he can sag his pants and do what he want to. And I bring that up for a specific reason. What HBCs used to be to what they are now, the pride that used to engender, it was supposed to be a place where they could go to be uplifted and educated about who they were. And there was a pride in the history of the fraternities and things like that. But they've gotten away from that. And I fear that what we're witnessing once again is a culmination of years of abuse and neglect of taking tradition and norms and things out of households. And we're sending these kids to HBCUs, many of whom have been raised in households without a father. It's ironic, Brenton, that you talked about what would happen if that was you. But we have a couple of generations now that are growing up in households where there is no dad. There aren't any uncles and good examples for them to look up to. And so what's being put front and center is the culmination of taking parenting out of homes, discipline out of homes, church, God out of schools. And what do you expect these kids to happen? Just because Deion Sanders is bringing this to the highlight, now you want to combine and give young people who have nothing but chaos in their life, now you want to let them know that there's an opportunity for them to even live an even more entitled lifestyle, and think that this is not going to be the norm. You know, these young people, male, female, this could have been a bunch of women. It probably would have been worse with girls. They've lost shape and hold of social skills. This is the result of the fact that you can't put 5 young people in a room and they behave themselves in a manner that's respectful. They overtalk each other, overtalk adults. They have no manners. And it's just sad that it's on display. And the reason I'm coming out this way so hard, I work for a company that's predominantly white, and I look at their faces every day, and I know what they're thinking, because when they see an older black man, I've been telling people this for a long time, they view me as one of them and not one of those. And that's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this world always rears its ugly head about our past, and I'm not blaming. We can't keep blaming, slavery and all that kind of stuff. But it has, like, if you're gonna plant a seed, you're not gonna expect to get something that you didn't plant. And again, as we continue to plant these seeds of discord, of racism, of always just playing these games that, what you say, what's going to happen when he leaves? Oh yeah, he gonna leave too, as far as all the help they would get. Yeah, again, it's just gonna, it almost seems like he's an opportunist, but Deion is one man. Deion can't fix this.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what Deion is doing. Deion is taking care of his boys. That's what a Deion Sanders is doing. Rightfully so, because that's what we should be doing. We should be taking care of our boys. And I fought those leaders, man, those coaches. You should set a different example, like Devin said, to not put up like with that kind of stuff. Kick them off the team.
Yeah.
But I know. Well, they mamas and all. Who cares? Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
So again, Deion, I appreciate it, man, but you're shining a light on the reality in which we know every day is there's still a lot of us that's out there acting a fool, and we're gonna be on display now because of what you've done. Shout out to you, but yeah, it's gonna be a problem. So, all right, man, what we got next? Thank you, man. I tried my best to gonna do your segment last week, but it just didn't.
You don't know how to cuss. You gotta learn how to cuss right.
Well, listen,
you gotta go down deep for them cuss words. You gotta put emotion in them.
Now, listen, I will say this. I know how to put some together now. Don't get me wrong. I just don't. Listen, you talking about something. Listen, I got an Allen Iverson crossover for you. I mean, I give you one. I could give it to you now. I'm just choosing not to. Right?
You take the right thing to bring them out, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, the wrong one. Right?
There you
go.
There you go.
Dirty, trash, and B's and H's. You gotta really you gotta dig deep.
I mean, he's such a professional with it, so he can cuss out people they don't even know they got cussed out until they got home. Go ahead, man, give it to him, brother.
I chose this topic once again blindly without knowing what we were going to be talking about, and if in case you have heard that expression before, let's take you back. What are little boys made of? Snips and snails and puppy dog tails. That's what they told us. Why did I choose this topic? And again, in connection with the show, while I was recuperating this weekend from sciatica, my son calls me and asked me, what did I think about the YK Osiris situation? I have it pulled up on my screen over here because I'm going to be frank with you. Didn't know who the hell this man was. Young rap artist. Apparently, he's really popular. And he goes on social media, millions of followers, and gives this tearful plea talking about how Drake don't F with him and this one don't mess with him. The baby, these are people I don't music gonna listen to, but my son and his sister, they big fans of these. They were checking on me, and the little boy was talking about how because Drake them don't mess with him, and he was using the F word. That what's the point of living? And all these young people were up in arms. Where's he at? So my son asked me about this, and again, I had to look him up in bed, like who is this person talking about? Then, so later that night, my niece, who's 33 years old, we were talking about it, and then she shared with me that I see the Bootsy interview where T.I. and Bootsy is coming together to make a show for their two sons and blah, 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 blah. And so I watch the show, and Bootsy's talking about how their kids are always getting in trouble. Well, why am I bringing this up? You just talked about it, Brother Brenton. We're failing our kids, especially as fathers. This is to my fathers out here, to my brothers out here. And it made me even realize in many ways how disconnected I still am to my son, that I don't know what's going on in his world. But the fact that these young people are not built out of the right stuff anymore. And when I think about the snips and snails, we were prepared for life from when we were little toddlers, all of us on this show. As little boys, when you got pushed out the door to go to school and toughen up. If you fell down, they stood you back up and shook the dirt off of you. If you cut your knee, get on up. You're a boy. Go put a Band-Aid on it and you go back out there and you make it. There's no crying in baseball. We were tougher and built from a different thing with social media and who ain't talking to us. And I don't want to go to school today, but these young people from grade school, and as we just saw with that last clip, all the way up to college level, they're not prepared to meet this world on its own terms. And so I implore fathers in particular, nobody's going to love our kids like we love them. And so even though my son is a grade A dumbass and a screw up in the most colossal way, I still love that young man. And I want to see him win. And so with that said, I still realize that I got to continue to pour some more things into him, because where I only had him for a few hours every day, the world got his brain every day, all day through Instagram, social media. They got new different places they go to that I don't even go on. And so it's important to them to be liked and to be heard, and for people that they deem on pedestals to like them. And so I'm going to speak for myself, and I hope for the rest of you fathers out there, do all you can to make your children, this is girls or boys, but especially our boys, because they're going to be men one day, realize that they're made from much tougher stock than who like them. And if we can get back to a traditional place where we can have them thinking about the snips and snails of what it takes to be a man, and I'm talking about real examples of men like garbage men, hard workers, not those idealistic people in sports, they will be much better off and prepared to deal with what life is going to throw at them, because we don't want them to forget. We love them, but the world see them in a whole different light, and we got to build them up with tougher stock.
Man,
that's what's up.
I appreciate you, and I'm going to say this, and I hope my daddy's still watching. We know what it is, Daddy, and I'm gonna just tell y'all something. Lee gave a perspective from a father, and I'm gonna tell you from a son that me and my dad, we didn't grow up. I didn't grow up with him, but I'm gonna tell you something, Daddy. I appreciate you for still trying.
That's what's up, brother.
You know what I'm saying? The reality is, we know how we do, and you know what we don't say all the time, but I just want you to know, thank you for still trying.
That's
And
what's up.
Yeah,
kudos to you.
Yeah, man. I know what he could have done. I'm a father. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything he put up with, but I'm just gonna tell you, we gotta change, man. And at least he trying, you know what I'm saying? And our family is going through a few things right now. And what we're going through is going to test what he's always tried to do, which was try. And just know I'm gonna be there for you, just like you are trying to be there for me. Just know that, man. All right,
much respect, brother. Much respect.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Parents need to be able to whip. Thank you, man. Thank you for breaking that thing down, Gary. All right, come on in that place. Yeah, it's never too late. Doesn't matter how old you are. Don't stop trying.
That's right.
Black from a son that has a father that wasn't. Just don't stop trying, because that moment is gonna happen that y'all gonna need each other. You know what I'm saying? And you just want to have the opportunity available. What's the saying? Don't take away the opportunity for the next moment. And people do that because they don't even try.
Right.
And so we got a moment that we're going to embark upon. And so that may be the opportunity. So I could care less of what happened in the past, but just don't stop trying, gentlemen. Don't stop trying. All right, let's go, y'all. Listen, great show. I appreciate y'all. Man, this warms my heart because we do exactly what I wanted this to do, which is empower, you know what I'm saying, Black people, that we could be doing things differently than what is being put out there. And so I appreciate all three of y'all, and I mean it. Brittany, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all making me a better person every week.
Just want y'all to appreciate you too, brother.
Me
appreciate
too,
you too.
Brother.
Yeah.
I hate I missed the show. I missed it last week, and I hated it.
Yeah, we did too, but we made it. Yeah, I think Devin cussed a couple more times for you.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Listen, y'all, been a fantastic show. I appreciate y'all for being on, joining us. Thank y'all so much. Bama Girl, Toria, Demi J, Real Estate, my dad. Thank y'all so much. I hope I ain't missed nobody else.
I think you got them all.
Okay, them all. And the rest of y'all is watching and don't say nothing.
Right.
It's cool. It's all good. Yeah. Don't worry about it. All right. So final thoughts time. Brother Kenny, let me have your final thoughts, brother.
Always great show. Glad to have Lee Black back, but you know what?
Yeah,
you brought them curse words back with you too. Then old Devin gonna follow right behind you.
Yeah,
and there we go. Bad influence, Lee Black. Bad influence. But anyway, love y'all to death, man. I'm just gonna make it quick, man. Social media, man. Just that's been on my heart, especially with this Kanye West thing. And social media is such a vast place now where people can really they can push whatever their agenda is. And it's a great thing too. Social media is a great thing. But it also, be careful in these social media streets, because just like some food that we put in our bodies that's not good for us, some of these social media messages aren't good for us, my people. And it's okay to have different opinions. I get that too. But some stuff, it just ain't good for your spirit. It ain't good for your soul. It ain't good for your psyche. Don't buy into everything you see on social media unless you come in to watch this show, TFG Tonight. Buy into this. Make sure you subscribe to this, like and share. Because it's, again, social media has some good stuff on like this show. So I just want to tell people, be careful in these social media streets, and be careful who you subscribe and listen to, because some of that stuff is all a farce. It's just for entertainment. And we know entertainment is just they'll be tap dancing up there just to get you to view and get some likes so they can make some money off of you. So remember that. Be careful in the social media streets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Madam, always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Let me have your final thoughts.
I do agree with what you said about, with fathers being absent, and maybe that's got a lot to do with what we've seen. However, I'm going to contradict you a little bit because this new generation is not the first generation to be raised without their dads. So many of us, I'm going to say in my generation, and maybe even some of the millennials, were raised without a father in the household, and they still turned out to be decent people and, and assets to society. I feel like there's something else going on and getting mixed in the pot. I think that parents are battling like social media, society as a whole, the streets, cell phones. I just think that a lot of the things that have come up in the world or what we're competing against, I don't think it's absent, fathers, because I know plenty of people my age and even a little younger who have had absent fathers and have turned out to be very decent men and very great fathers themselves. So we have to figure out where we have missed it. And yes, I agree. These fathers do need to be in the household and do take a stronger role in the life of their child. But I think there's just so much more to it than that. So I don't know what it is. We'll have to dig a little deeper for that one. I don't know.
Sure. And I apologize if that's what I presented. I didn't want to present that.
No. And it wasn't even what you said. It was just as a whole. I
right.
know from the kids fighting and things like that. I remember one of the things that we said was, we guarantee that these children probably don't have fathers and good uncles and things like that. And I agree with you. But what I'm saying is I know so many people from my generation and people that I know who also did not. But
this turned out right. I got you. Yeah. We people are resilient. I don't disagree with that. But again, it'll turn into a conversation. I'm glad you're making a great point, and we should have a conversation about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Maybe we can do it on Halloween. Scare these clowns. Anyway. All right, Black. Yeah.
Well, Devin, you just provided me one of my upcoming shows. I want you on that show. I want you on that show. I think you're absolutely right. It's more than that, but I want to make sure we as fathers, we're playing our part and not contributing to it, but you're right. So guess what? In a few weeks, I want to put together that show and I want you there, which brings me to even my final thought. Brother Brenton, you talked about the people who watch who aren't saying anything. My own kids and niece, and they're watching. Whether we know it or not, they are actually watching. Mm-hmm. If they're not watching your show live, Brenton, they told me they watch this show. And what's crazy to me is they're watching it in groups. We are entertainment to them. I didn't just snag this topic of YK Osiris out my ass. Sorry for the curse, Kenny. But I decided to do it because they said to me that we're not talking about enough things that make them want to tune in and say something. And that's what it showed me, that I don't know who this person is. So to the silent crowd out there, we care. And for me, I'm going to try to do a little bit better to try to incorporate some topics into my show that will bring you guys out into the forefront to speak on it. And so, they're watching. And because we know they're watching, I love being on this platform because we're broadening their minds to things that they are not going to get anywhere else.
No, sir.
Because the shade room ain't going to give them this.
Right. Nope. You're right.
And it's only so many ways you can have intercourse.
What? Wait a minute. What?
I'm just saying, I know a lot of people watch porn, and I'm just saying, there's only so many ways you can do it, right? Only 88 keys on the piano. So.
Well, you opening up another topic for my show.
Karma too.
Deacon, Miss Bama girl said hello. You want to wave? Hi. Yeah. I gotta keep my headphones on because leave me talking. So you know. All right, y'all. Listen, man. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this show. Can you stop shaking? I'm gonna have to go back and watch this show, man. This is really good. Okay, I got a question for y'all. Who is that person that you would never want to help you out in a situation? Who is it? If you ain't got a name, just tell me why.
I got one. I give this person's initials, SJ,
okay.
because
SJ.
they could tell you they right around the corner.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see them for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that'd be one right there. I already know.
All right. Black.
I got one like that too, and I ain't gonna give it away either. But when he said that, I got a person like that.
Okay. And why were you on food with him?
Kenny is right. They have let me down on important things too, where they're supposed to be there. So he's right. Yep.
Okay, madam. I know you got a long list, honey.
I'll just think of one. I got a cousin who I won't say her name, but I won't let her do nothing for me because if she do one tiny thing for me, I'm gonna be paying her for the rest of my life.
Thinking Miss Toria said hi too. Yeah, all right. That's my youngest, y'all. And
what's up? What's up?
Supposed to be in the bed. But he just wants to find a thought. Okay, fantastic. Well, listen, here it is. If having the wrong person help you do your thing was a person, this is what it looked like.
Yeah, whole cervical fracture.
Right, the fifth metal, whatever y'all call them, the thing, just gone. Can I give? Thank you. I mean, just extra. So listen, y'all. The reality is that you want to be careful about somebody helping you, but listen, just know when you're trying to act a fool, just do it by yourself and stop trying to ask somebody to help you be a fool.
Ain't that the truth?
You're gonna end up breaking your neck, dummy. You say I got a cousin like that too, Devin. That's right. So, all right, y'all. I just want y'all to know, act a fool on your own, because if you don't, you're gonna get your neck broke, right?
There you go.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much. That is Devin, that is Kenny, that is Lee, and Brittany's in the back, and Deacon's right here. But we're gonna see y'all on Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Peace out.